The Quran is the word of a drunken and mad poet, hence the name Muhammad, which contains the adjective mad. If Muslims are intrinsically seduced by the Quran, it is because the Quran is melodious like music and poetry, even if it means accepting the abominations of the book, like Surah 5 verse 51, which says to them, to the Muslims, O you who believe, do not take the Jews and the Christians as allies, they are allies of one another, and whoever among you takes them as allies, becomes one of them. God certainly does not guide the unjust people. In the Arabic version, this verse is sweet to the ear and sweet to the audition, so we accept it, we take it, we keep it, and we follow it. The same goes for verse 5 of Surah 9, which says, after the sacred months expire, kill the polytheists wherever you find them. Capture them, besiege them, and lie in wait for them in every ambush. If then they repent and establish prayer and pay zakat, then leave the way open for them, for Allah is forgiving and merciful. The reminder tells us this about the poem. If we had sent it down to any of the non-Arabs, and he had recited it to them, they would not have believed in it. Indeed, the Quran is melodious in Arabic, and it is intended for the Arabic-speaking world. Therefore, whoever accepts Islam should learn the recitation of the Quran in Arabic. Surah 54. Indeed, we have made the Quran easy for mediation. Is there anyone who reflects? When the Prophet was asked, O Messenger of Allah, and to recite the Quran in Arabic, Abu Dharr al-Ghifari reported that the Prophet replied, and is the reading of the Quran useful without knowledge? Thus, it is clearly established that one must understand the Arabic language in order to benefit from reading the Quranic text. All Muslim scholars confirm this. Thus have we made doubt penetrate into the hearts of the criminals. But they will not believe in the Quran until they see the painful punishment, which will come upon them suddenly, without their realizing it. Then they will say, will we be given respite? Do they seek to hasten our punishment? Do you see if we were to allow them to enjoy, for years, and then that which they were threatened with befalls them, the pleasures that were permitted them would be of no use to them. Pleasures like the woman and the melodies that the chorus reminds us of. The beauty in the woods has just given up the ghost, oh, but I will be her man through all these women. Yes, spirit, are you there, at the rendezvous of the libertines? I took women with me until the early morning. In the name of the rose, my friend the woman, lend me your body, to write things to the one who awaits me in heaven and whom I adore. Open your brothels to the one who descends from heaven, and whom I adore. You are the heiress of original sin. Come back to earth, oh, give me back the taste of salt. Inhabit their bodies. You have the most beautiful rumps, which I have placed on a bed of crystal. Inhabit their bodies. We will be this couple, who will dare to take each other with metal claws. Materialize yourself in a mold of flesh. We will realize what is dearest to you. In the name of the rose. Is the poem yours? And we destroy not a town until there come to it warners as a reminder, and we are not unjust. And it is not the devils who have sent down this Quran. It does not suit them, nor could they have done it. Verily they are turned away from hearing the message of Allah. So invoke not any other God with Allah, lest you be of those punished. And warn those who are near to you. And lower your wing, be kind to the believers who follow you. But if they disobey you, say to them, I disavow what you do. And put your trust in the Almighty, the most merciful, who sees you when you rise up, and sees your actions among those who prostrate themselves. He is truly the hearing, the knowing. Shall I tell you on whom the devils descend? The devils descend on women. On your women. Beautiful. It is a word that seems to have been invented for her. When she dances and exposes her body, like a bird that spreads its wings to fly, then I feel hell opening under my feet. I have set my eyes under her gypsy dress. What use is it to me to pray to Our Lady? Who is the one who will throw the first stone at her? He does not deserve to be on earth. O Lucifer, oh let me just once slide my fingers through Esmeralda's hair. Beautiful. Is it the devil who has incarnated in her? To turn my eyes away from the eternal God? Who has put this carnal desire in my being, to prevent me from looking towards heaven? She carries within her original sin. Does desiring her make me a criminal? She who was taken for a girl of joy, a girl of nothing, suddenly seems to bear the cross of the human race. O Our Lady, oh let me just once push open the door of Esmeralda's garden. Beautiful, despite her big black eyes that bewitch you. Could the young lady still be a virgin? When her movements make me see mountains and wonders, under her petticoat, in the colors of the rainbow. My sweetheart, let me be unfaithful to you, before having led you to the altar. Who is the man who would turn his gaze away from her, under penalty of being changed into a pillar of salt? Oh, Fleur-de-Lis, I am not a man of faith. I will go and pick Esmeralda's flower of love. I have set my eyes under her gypsy dress. What use is it for me to pray to Our Lady? Who is the one who will throw the first stone at her? He does not deserve to be on earth. Oh, Lucifer, oh, let me just once slide my fingers into Esmeralda's hair. The devils descend upon every slanderer, sinner. They prick up their ears. However, most of them are liars. And as for the poets, it is the lost who follow them. Do you not see that they wander in every valley, and that they say what they do not do? The poets who say what they do not do are the musicians. Music charms us, as the devil charms us. The charmer's method is poetry. Satan seduces us all, except those who believe and do good works, who often invoke the name of Allah and defend themselves against the wrongs done to them. The unjust will soon see the turnaround they will experience. There is the good word and the bad word, the truth and the lie, as the Bible reminds us. John 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. There was a man sent from God, whose name was John. He came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all through him might believe. He was not the light, but came to bear witness of the light. This was the true light, which enlightens every man that comes into the world. It was in the world, and the world was made by it, and the world knew it not. He came to his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, which were born, not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. And the Word was made flesh, and dwelt among us, full of grace and truth, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father. John bare witness of him, and cried out, saying, This is he of whom I spake. He that cometh after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. And of his fullness have we all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given by Moses, and grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. No man hath seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him. God the Father is an invisible spirit, just as Satan is an invisible spirit. How to differentiate one from the other? By his works and by his masterpieces. Is God absolutely good? The God of the Old Testament, no. And the God of the Quran, neither. Is it the same God, however? Affirmative. Jesus was tempted by the devil while he himself is God. It is like the alternative history of Gaara in relation to that of Naruto. Lucifer started well by being perfectly good. Then he ended badly by deviating, and becoming perfectly evil. The alternative is Jesus, who started well, and who ended good. In other words, God the Father was certain of one thing concerning his only Son. Allah was certain that Jesus or Lucifer would start well. But he was not certain of the rest. That is to say, if Jesus or Lucifer would end well or badly. This is how the serpent of the desert, which is none other than the Spirit of the Father, that is to say Allah, tempted Jesus in the desert. Matthew 4. Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. And the tempter came and said to him, If you are the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. And Jesus answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Then the devil took him up into the holy city, and set him on a pinnacle of the temple, and said to him, If you be the Son of God, cast yourself down. For it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning you. And in their hands they shall bear you up, lest at any time you dash your foot against a stone. And Jesus said to him, It is also written, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. The devil took him up again to a very high mountain, and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and said to him, All these things I will give you, if you will fall down and worship me. Jesus said to him, Get thee hence, Satan. For it is written, You shall worship the Lord your God, and him only shall you serve. Then the devil left him. And behold, angels came to Jesus and ministered to him. Where the Bible is a book of wisdom, reporting parables and virtues, the Quran is poetry. The Quran is indeed a poem that sings the beauty of the world. For the believer, the Quran evokes beauty, goodness, and sweetness in a language that also amazes, whether it is read, recited, or chanted, that of God who is merciful and gracious, Al-Rahman, Al-Rahim. From the verb go came the word God. Likewise, from the French verb Allah came the word Allah. Each means a sense, a direction, and a way, like Yahweh.